from the International Socialist Organization, and I also volunteer with VOS Workers Education Project.
So my name is Melissa Sarabia, and I'm a student at Portland State University. This is my senior year, and I am an activist. I'm trying to do everything that I can to help my community and continue in the fight.
We're the May Day Coalition who organized this rally, march, and activist fair for today.
Hoy queremos decirle un poquito de lo que somos nosotros. Somos la coalición que ha armado y ha estado trabajando detrás de esta marcha y de las marchas de los años anteriores.
And we're a collection of different organizations, and I'm going to read the organizations that were the main groups that were coming to the meetings every week. And it's the Portland Immigrants' Rights Coalition, the Industrial Workers of the World, International Union of Painters and Associated Trades, PSU and PCC students, MECHA, Oregon New Sanctuary Movement, International Alliance of Theatrical Stage Employees, Jobs with Justice, VOS, the International Socialist Organization, VOS Workers Education Project, the Oregon Dreamers, Sisters of the Road, American Friends Service Committee, and forgive us if we forget you. Now Peter here is going to talk a little bit about Jobs with Justice and organizations that sponsored this march and rally.
Hi, I'm Peter Parks. I'm from Jobs with Justice, and we're a coalition of 91 organizations, mainly labor organizations, but also faith groups and community groups that make a pledge to go out at least 5 times a year to support each other's struggles. And there are people in the crowd who are going around with these pledge cards. If you'd like to join Jobs with Justice and help us in our work, sign up on one of these pledge cards. So I'd like to read a few more names here.
And why are we here today? I think most everybody in the crowd knows why we're here today. It's to stop the attacks on the working class from Cairo to Wisconsin to Portland. And immigrants' rights are workers' rights.
So I want to read a quote from August Spies, an immigrant from Germany who helped lead the struggle for the 8-hour day here in the United States. This movement led to the start of this radical tradition on May 1st, why we're all here today, the International Workers' Day. August and other labor movement activists were charged and put to death for a crime no one could prove they committed. During a rally in Haymarket Square in Chicago, the police moved in to disperse the event against the mayor's orders when an unknown assailant threw a bomb into the crowd of police. The police then opened fire to an unarmed crowd. The scuffle resulted in 8 dead police, largely shot by friendly fire. With the noose tied around his neck, some of his last words spoken were, "If you think that by hanging us, you can stomp out the labor movement, the movement from which the downtrodden millions, the millions who toil and live in it and misery, the wage slaves expect salvation. If this is your opinion, then hang us. Here you will tread upon a spark, but there and behind you and in front of you and everywhere, flames will blaze up. It is a subterranean fire. You cannot put it out, and the ground is on fire upon which you stand."
Yeah. And so our first speaker today is Felix, who is on the VOS Workers Education Project Day Laborers Committee. And he's going to be speaking largely about day laborers and the struggle that they go through on a daily basis, living as subhumans in the United States. And to welcome him on stage, let's do a chant real quick. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. El pueblo unido
tardes, hombres y mujeres quienes han venido acá. Mi nombre es Félix Chuma. Soy ecuatoriano, soy indígena.
Good evening. My name is Felix Chuma. I am from Ecuador and I am an indigenous.
Represento al comité directivo de los jornaleros.
I represent the board of day laborers.
Soy un jornalero que busco trabajo en las calles de Portland.
I am a day laborer that looks for jobs in the streets of Portland. You must know that here, long ago, lived many people when the famous conquistadors arrived.
Nos quitaron todo, la tierra, todas las riquezas.
When they took away our land and all of the richness. Their fruit is the consequence of today's immigration. That's why today we are claiming back our rights, demanding
para que nos miremos como seres humanos.
So that we see each other like human beings.
Ya que venimos de una comunidad migrante.
Since we come from a community of immigrants.
Todos somos inmigrantes y todos somos seres humanos.
We are all immigrants, we are all human beings.
Y todos tenemos el mismo derecho.
And we all have the same right. And I just want to tell you that you can see a clear example with the light bulb. When it was invented, they said, thousands of you have had many homes. And then the person that invented it said, the errors are part of the invention. And us, we make mistakes, but someday you will see that we are here fighting.
Gracias, muy amables. Unidos seremos uno solo y así venceremos a los discriminadores. Gracias.
Thank you, and together we will fight against people who discriminate.
Give it up for Felix! And now our next speaker is going to be Haley, who is a student at Clark College in Vancouver, and a new activist who's been helping organize the marches for choice since the House has threatened to take away the funding for Planned Parenthood, which is what she's going to talk about. So I'll let her talk.
Recently, there has been some activity in the House of Representatives in regards to defunding Planned Parenthood. Conservatives say that they support this bill because they don't want federal funds to go towards abortion. It was that the Hyde Amendment, passed in 1976, prohibits federal funds to be used for abortions. This in mind, the bill to defund Planned Parenthood is a direct attack on the reproductive rights of immigrants and working class people. The primary patrons of Planned Parenthood are lower income people who are in need of basic reproductive care that the wealthiest people in this country have easy access to. Statistics from 2009 show that 97% of the services that Planned Parenthood provides are contraception, STD and STI testing and treatment, cancer screening and prevention, and other women's health services, including pregnancy tests and treating prenatal clients. Only 3% of services are abortion, which do not even currently receive federal funds. Yet the House wants to defund the other 97%, which provide low-income people with basic reproductive care. Their illogical rhetoric will not fool us. This is not about abortion. This is about limiting access to reproductive health for the poor and the working class. In addition, the No Taxpayer Funding for Abortion Act has been tossed around by House Republicans, which includes the redefinition of rape. Current law allows for federal funds to be spent on abortion in cases of rape and incest. The proposed act would redefine rape to forcible rape, conveying that some rapes are more desirable than others. This redefinition tells women that if they are drugged or drinking or otherwise incapacitated, it is their own fault and their rapes are not validated by the government. We cannot tolerate these attacks. We must all defend our right to reproductive freedom and human rights. We need to show the government that we will not stand for their attacks on the poor and the working class.
Up next we have Al Bradbury, who's going to be playing a couple of songs. If she's over here.
America's new star. They turned her down the second round, said she's not right for cable, so Melody's still working at the bar. I said, I'm sorry, they were wrong. This is not where you belong. She said, who belongs in this building? I'm lucky at least I can sing. And I don't know, but I've been told the streets of heaven are paved with gold. I'd like to pry those cobbles loose, put that gold to better use. Larry at the checkout counter, counting every penny, hopes to be a manager in time. He gives out gumdrops to the kids, but don't give out too many. On Fridays you count for every dime. And Larry has a son he loves, who he must be thinking of. The sad truth he has had to face is other kids take second place. And I don't know, but I've been told the streets of heaven are paved with gold. I'd like to pry those cobbles loose, put that gold to better use. You know that movie in which Mark Wahlberg gets on the Eagles football team? I hope Matt Damon makes it to college. I even cheered for Will Smith in the Wall Street Machine. One kid gets out, 1 out of thousands. Is that as big as we can dream? I dreamed a dream when I was 10, and twice as smart as other men, that I would be the president one day. But now I see that's arrogant, and no one should be president, and smarter is a tricky word to say. And whose idea was this dumb economy that's zero-sum, and wouldn't it be more kick-ass to win for the whole working class? And I don't know, but I've been told the streets of heaven are paved with gold. I'd like to pry those cobbles loose, put that gold to better use.
Thank you. Miriam Mendez, who is a pastor of Esperanza Church and a member of Oregon New Sanctuary Movement.
It is no secret that the current debates around immigration present a tremendous challenge for people of faith. When we talk about immigrants, we often call these people illegal aliens. And yet, many are here working legitimate jobs and pursuing what our nation has promised immigrants since its beginning: the invitation to come to the land of the free and the home of the brave and to find refuge. The issues surrounding immigration are complicated and diverse, and if there is something that we all share, it's the strong emotions around the issue. As a spiritual leader and a follower of Jesus, I am present today with the people of my church because we serve and love the one who entered into this world to set all men and women free. And this love compels us to be present and speak out on issues that can destroy, exploit, and oppress all of humanity. Therefore, we march today as people of faith to bring fairness, mercy, and goodwill to all injustice, violence, and oppression. We march today as people of faith to help all people find their reward in work that serves the good of all, so that in our labors, cooperation and fairness may triumph over conflict and disparity. We march today as people of faith to keep alive the holy fire within the hearts of all who dare to be the voices of unwelcome wisdom. We march today as people of faith, seeking mercy and love for the oppressor as well as the oppressed. We march today as people of faith with a passion for righteousness and zeal to serve where there is a need. We march today as messengers of peace and justice for all.
Okay, up next we have Jamie Partridge, who's speaking on behalf of public sector unions. He is from the Letter Carriers Union locally.
Good afternoon, buenas tardes. I am a letter carrier and cartero of 27 years. I'm the chair of the organizing committee for my union, the National Association of Letter Carriers in the Portland area. The Postal Service, like all public services, is under attack today. Postal workers, like all public workers, are under attack today. Our postal unions, like all public worker unions, and our collective bargaining rights are under attack today. The moneyed interests seek to privatize and sell off the profitable portions of our service. They slipped a congressional mandate during the Bush era, which is crippling the Postal Service, forcing it to pre-fund retiree health benefits 75 years in advance within 10 years. This mandate forces the Postal Service to pre-fund retiree health benefits for people who don't even work yet for the Postal Service. It forces the Postal Service to pre-fund health benefits for people who aren't even born yet. The Postal Service will reach its debt limit and go bankrupt if nothing is done to fix this problem. Bankruptcy, of course, means that union contracts can be broken and the company can be broken up and sold off. And there doesn't seem to be the political will in Congress or the administration to fix this problem. Just as public schools are underfunded, education is driven into the ground, then public schools are closed and reopened as private, non-union charter schools. Just as public services are deteriorating because the banksters crashed the economy, public workers and our unions are being scapegoated as greedy, lazy, and incompetent. Just as more workers are losing their jobs and homes,
así como más trabajadores están perdiendo sus trabajos y sus casas,
because the banksters crashed the economy, the huge corporations who are profiting from our misery. The uprising in Wisconsin is showing us that public workers and our allies can fight back, can disrupt business as usual, and can turn the political tide. The May Day 2006 National General Strike of immigrant workers showed us that immigrant workers and their allies can disrupt business as usual and turn the political tide. The question before the workers' movement is whether we can bring together the power of public workers and the power of immigrant workers rising together. Before a movement is whether together we can turn the tide and force politicians and their corporate cronies to do the right thing.
¡Sí se puede!
¡Sí se puede! ¡Sí se puede! ¡Sí se puede! ¡Sí se puede! Thank you.
Muchas gracias.
Todos pongan atención a lo que está sucediendo. De los niños inocentes robando nuestros derechos, se llevará nuestra gente. Noticia de derechos humanos, siendo un niño los puedo abrazar.
For the power of the students! Power of the students!
¿Dónde están todos esos estudiantes?
Hello everybody, my name is Victor Mena. I'm a Portland Community College student and part of a lot of organizations around here. And today we're going to tell you a little bit of the students and their dreams. I want every student around here to raise their hand. All these students right now, they all have a dream. And a lot of these students' dreams are frozen. All dreams have a beginning. Throughout history, our great nation has given the opportunity for immigrants to earn their dreams. Pilgrims, back in the 1600s, arrived from England to start for a new opportunity. These immigrants risked their lives to come to a nation that they never knew. It was the first Americans, the Native Americans, who gave them a hand to start and to get established in this country. A couple years later, about 200 years later, this country became, more than 200 years later, immigrants are still risking their lives to gain freedom and to accomplish their dreams. Today, I speak to you as a humble but proud Oregonian. It is my sad belief that the people who represent our nation in Congress have chosen to ignore a group of Americans. They have chosen to leave thousands of undocumented students with shattered dreams. Let me remind you that most of us students did not have a voice to come to this country. Most of us only know the United States, and some of us may only speak English. All we want is to continue our education and to accomplish our dream, and to show you that we are just like any other student with a social security number or a citizenship. We are already part of America, and America is part of us. All we ask for is for a path to legalization. We only want to become FBI agents to protect you. We only want to become nurses and doctors to cure you. We only want to become teachers to educate you. When the first pilgrims first arrived in the 1600s, they didn't ask for anything. The first Americans, the Native Americans, welcomed them and gave them knowledge to survive. You already gave us some knowledge. Now all we ask from you is to give us the opportunity to accomplish our dreams so that we can give back to the country that we love. In behalf of my peers behind me and thousands of undocumented students around this nation, we ask nothing more than for a fair path to legalization. We have been working hard for our dreams, but we need U.S. senators and U.S. representatives to have the courage to vote for a DREAM Act or for a path to legalization. Give it up, students. Show them your power everywhere.
¡Se puede! ¡Se puede!
Come on, what do we want, people?
¿Qué es lo queremos?
Jobs!
¡Trabajos!
Living wage jobs!
¡Trabajos!
Immigration!
¡Inmigrantes!
Reform! Come on, I can hear you!
Que no se
Immigration!
¡Inmigración!
Reform! Jobs! Justice!
¡Justicia!
Jobs!
¡Trabajos!
Justice!
¡Justicia!
Immigration!
¡Inmigración!
Reform!
What do we do when our people are under attack? What do we do?
We stand up and fight back.
We stand up and fight back. What do we do when our community are under attack?
Stand up and fight back.
And then we're gonna start marching. So get ready to get in the streets, do some chanting.
¡Vamos! ¡Vencido! ¡Vamos! ¡No, vencido! Lucha, estamos en la lucha. Obama, escucha, estamos